What's up everybody, this is Steven Koss for Currentvistaproductions, and in this video we're going to talk about the power of the sus4 chord. So I think G sus would approve of this message. It's going to be a good video, stick around. So let's first start the video by viewing the conceptual idea of chords in general, which chords and scales are basically the same thing. So just a quick example for taking all the notes within the key of C major. And we do a C major over a D minor. These are all the notes that fit within the key of C. I think most of you who are watching this know this, but it's no different whenever we view suspended fourth chords. So let's take that same key of C. How many different suspended fourths can we glean off of this? One, well, obviously the root, that all fits within the white notes, key of C. D sus, right? E sus. F really wouldn't because you'd have to make it a B flat and that's not in the key of C. G does work, G sus, G sus. G sus, A sus, and there's a specialty one which is built off the major 7. B sus, which has that Lydian sharp 11 sound to it. We'll talk more about that later. But so we have the root, the second, the third, the fifth, the sixth, and specialty 7th. For right now, let's do 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Get out of here. This builds a pentatonic scale. Root, second, third, fifth, and sixth. All of these roots suspended chords, right? So if we take, let's just play a C5 in the bottom and let's kind of arpeggiate these. So these all fit within the key of C, right? So that right off the bat is incredibly helpful. So you can take any key, let's go to the key of G, right? Right, so here's all the notes in the key of G. So outline the pentatonic, all these sus chords work. So I added other stuff in there, but the idea of that was I'm taking G sus, A sus, B sus, D sus, E sus, remember that specialty one too, and putting it basically over a G chord, all fitting within the key of G. So that's one way you can view your suspended fourth chords, is view them contextually within the scale. And this also applies, to, gosh, this can also apply to, you see A flat ascending melodic minor G old chord. You can put a B flat sus over that and A flat sus leading to C minor. We'll get more to that later, but these are stackable. So this brings me actually to my second subject of suspended fourth chords. What we can do is actually stack these suspended fourth chords, which let's go back to the key of C, right? So here's our pentatonic. All of these suspended chords work. Let's do the 2 and the 3. So based in the key of C, the second and the third build those suspended chords. And let's stack them. And if you do this over a C, really beautiful possibilities, I guess you could say, are kind of unlocked. 2 and 3. Let's go to 3 and 5. And by the way, these are ones that I kind of, as I was preparing this video, I was thinking, which ones are really nice if you stack them? 3 and 5 are really pretty. 3, so you got an E sus over a G sus, hey. So, real pretty sound. And if you kind of alternate 2 to 3, and then you can actually use that specialty 7, which 3 and I mean all of them pretty much work, but I wouldn't do it over the root because then you'd have a F to F sharp clash. Unless it's like at a distance. You can't really hear the dissonance there, but this works great when you do the 5th and the 7th. So root and the 7th, right? Really beautiful sounds. Anyways, these are stackable. Let's do this over some altered chords. So a C minor example, right? So D half diminished 7, G7 alt, C minor 7, right? This suspended chords, you can do the, what did I write down? The 7, the 3, and the 4, okay. So the 3rd, 7, the 3, let's go to the 7, C7, and the 4. So all these notes fit within F melodic minor ascending, right? So the 3rd fits over that. The 5th, sorry, the 3rd, the 4th, the 7th. All these other suspended chords, like if you went to the 2nd, you would have to have a B in there, which doesn't fit within the key of F ascending melodic minor. Right? So, well, sounds can be created. Then you go over the G alt, B flat sus fits over that, A flat sus, all again notes that fit over the A flat ascending minor scale. B flat sus, A flat sus, and of course you can lead this to C minor. And by the way, all of the major, because I've been thinking, you know, in C major, obviously this all applies to the key of A minor as well. So if we're doing A minor, fits pretty nice. Anyways, back to the other example. So now when you combine this C minor 2-5, the minor 2-5, right, with some fourths, so using, and obviously like throwing other stuff in there, of course, you know, and having the knowledge and all of that under your fingers. But again, this is just one little tool in your tool bag you can kind of just throw in. Specialty sus 4th chords. Ooh, interesting. Let's go to a C, back to key of C, right? Something that you can do within these sus chords, depending on style, context, all of that, your ear, a lot of other factors, you can add in the 3rd to it. And you have this really beautiful sound. Essentially, this is just like a C over like an F major 7, no 3rd. If you view it like that, but I just like to think C sus with an added 3rd. You can also, of course, add the 7th to it, depending on style, context, all of that. I like to use that, especially if I'm doing like a, if there's like a sus, trying to throw that in, that's just like a nice little spice. So if you're doing like Green Dolphin Street, So if you're going down, you know, that's a perfect place to use that, because all that is just G flat major, F major, E major, E flat, so why not add that? You can do that in sus too. Right? So sus chords are everywhere. How do we use this information when improvising? I think I did a couple of examples of that when playing, but view this, again, sus chords within context of the scale, and also view it as a spice. That's a very potent spice that you throw in. Maybe not potent, because I use them a lot, so I guess maybe a common spice you would find within jazz improvisation in general, but jazz improvisation would be the sus4 chord. As far as practicing them, just get them under your fingers, you know, play the sus, add the dominant 7, add it with the third. Another thing that really helps too is your arpeggios. Having that, but when you're adding the fourth to it, when you're raising the third to the fourth, it's not that much of a difference of movement. This also depends on which one you're doing too. You could do it to build tension, tranquility, planing. Planing's a great one, especially if you do Misty, you know, Misty. If you plane that first, how to conclude this video. I hope people got, whoever's watching this, you get a little bit of information out of it. View suspended fourth chords through the lens of scales. Practice them, obviously. Put them under your fingers. Experiment and just keep the notes within the scales in the forefront of your mind and how you can use that. Use them as a spice. I would say it's not a very potent spice. Like I said earlier, just use them, but don't abuse them.